The lands of Stonehelm are plagued by war. Three nations battle for supremacy over one another in an endless conflict. The Izmirs, raiders from the far north, bear down on the lands of Stonehelm. The Izmir's homeland, Nordheim, is a frigid and a harsh landscape. There, amongst monstrous landslides, unfriendly mountains, and savage blizzards, lives a nation of hardened warriors. After signing a peace treaty in Nerville, the Dukedom of Steerborg belongs to them, which lies in the northern coast of Midland. The Midlanders are a divided realm of great barons and plotting lords. Their history can be traced back to the days of Gilland the Hill-Lead. Even though their realm is divided into two kingdoms, they have united to face a common enemy. The last realm vying for Stonehelm is not even considered a nation to some. Then there's the last. A nation of science, a nation of great conquerors, a nation of the defeated. The Sangmar Empire once controlled a vast and rich realm, once feared and respected for their might. Those days are gone, however. The Basilius, the Emperor himself, bowed at the feet of the Azeb Kagan. He kissed the scrolls of truth laid out before him and accepted his people's fate underneath the Azebian boot. But how were they defeated, you may ask? The Azebs, once the conquered, became the conquerors, rebelling against their Sangmarian overlords and carving out a nation of their own. Their armies stampeded through the Imperial forces, leaving only Balamon, the greatest city in the Empire, to fend for itself. The Midlanders pushed from the northeast without any mercy for those, friend or foe. While the armies of the Azebs were closing in on the great city of Balamon, the Emperor bowed to save his people, and in doing so, he joined the great and powerful empire of Azebia, sacrificing freedom for survival. But all is not lost, for the people of Sangmar still retain their great knowledge of the arts and sciences. For ages, the Sangmar Empire has been home to the greatest masters in various fields. The culture mixing allowed for the exchange of experience and ideas by crafters and artists. The Sangmar Empire is a place where even a bricklayer strives for perfection. And a skilled cook is as highly valued as a royal sculptor, for each profession has been mastered to a form of its own art. The Emperor has an undivided power, and he is treated like a god who has been anointed to lead the Empire to rule over the rest of the world. The memory of the fallen heroes is surrounded by a unique cult, though their blood and sacrifice has been devoted to the services of the Empire. But perhaps the biggest value for the citizens of the South is knowledge. This is a realm where inventors flourish, and their architecture is as beautiful as it is functional. Their customs and manners have become legendary. In fact, they say that in Balamon, the poorest folk eat on plates, not on loaves of bread. The Sangmar nation is made up of two distinct peoples, the Sangmar and the Azebs. The Sangmarians are mainly a dark-haired and bright-eyed with a tan compilation. Unlike other cultures, they often shave their faces smooth, considering beards a form of savagery. Even though the Sangmarians and Azebs are united under the same banner, they have very different cultures. They both respect their brothers as effective and good warriors. The climate in the south is warm, and the land is fertile, rocky, and sandy. The inhabitants have few struggles providing themselves with a variety of food. It is also a land of grass steeps, hot desert sands, and humid forest full of unique and exotic animals. The current Sangmarian army is based on traditional legions, columns of well-ordered infantry soldiers. Due to the years of improvements in development, their current units are more modern and use more advanced tactics. Because of the discipline of their soldiers, the Empire has a powerful and well-trained professional army, and it keeps it in order in the provinces subordinate to their beloved Emperor. Everyone, from scouts to Praetorians, is a soldier devoted to the cause, and his armor shines brightly like a jewel in the sun of the Empire. The Imperial smitheries are famous for their elegant weapons, sophisticated helms, and richly decorated pauldrons, for only there a simple sword could amaze the wielder with its perfect balance and grace. The Empire's history is written in blood and gold. The Empire's ceaseless conquest, which subjugated even the Midlandic tribes, was stopped in its tracks on the Izmir's land. The inflexibility of the warriors from the cold north aroused such respect amongst the Sangmarian armies that they were hired to become bodyguards of the Emperor. In one battle against the Midlanders, the Emperor Hadrian made a heroic maneuver and it became history. He forced the Midlanders to retreat, while lost most of his units in the process. Hadrian died of his wounds on the journey home, and his Izmirian bodyguards were to blame. The cost of Hadrian's expedition was too high, even for the Sangmarians. Their capital was then attacked by the vengeful Izmirs, but pride didn't allow them to lay down their weapons, and they arose united, ready to rise from that defeat. In recent years, Basilius Agenar Basiliorus decided to accept the cult of the Forefather and his champion Galliand as the nation's official religion. His decision resulted in a wave of social unrest. The Basilius' brother, Ethabal, took advantage of the situation. With the help of the Ezebian army, he banished his brother and captured his throne before the northern kings had time to come to his rescue. As a token of gratitude for the Kagan, Ethabal accepted the symbol of the curved horn and submitted his country to the cult of the Father of Wisdom. Since then, the symbol of the empire is the sun, with the Ezebian curved horn hanging below it. The exiled Basilius took refuge amongst the Midlanders. His presence provided them with an excuse to keep attacking Sangmar in order to reinstate Basiliorus, the exile, on the throne. Yet not all are willing to bow to the Ezebian yoke.
Sangmar has fallen from its way. We must return to our roots if we are to return to the further glory that we once held. The Azebs are the reason for this failure on a part of all Sangmarians. Victory is within reach, but so far away.
General Sirius leads his legion in rebellion, fighting for the true Sangmar. He and his men await a true challenge to whoever is brave enough to assault their ruined keep. The true Basilius lies in wait, unusurped by treachery. With the enemies of Sangmar closing in around them, the forces of the Azebs and the Sangmarians must unite to throw off these barbarian invaders back into the sea. However, for if the great empire is to rise again, it shall need strong warriors to lead them to victory over their enemies. Will the great empire rise or fall into nothing? This is for you to decide, warrior of Stonehelm.